Hello, good evening, and welcome to Weekend File. We are live in Abuja. Last weekend, we opened a conversation on the groundbreaking achievements by the federal government in the past 6 years and still counting. Recall that we began with a holistic approach to the myriad of improvements in virtually all sectors of Nigeria's economic life as a nation, including infrastructure, mechanized large-scale agriculture, rail line and road construction, power generation, national identity cards to complement national security, life-touching legislations, as well as national social investment programs, which is the first of its kind in West Africa and almost the largest in the world. Tonight, we shall, however, concentrate on two key areas of military infrastructure and road construction in Nigeria. It is no longer news that Nigeria has been battling insecurity for more than a decade now, which has compelled the present administration to pay special attention to military infrastructure, leading to acquisition of modern air fighters, including sophisticated weaponry. This obviously will equip the military to consolidate victory over heightened security challenges across the Federation. Already there are positives recorded in that regard. Now, government also, in its wisdom, understands the importance of roads to national economy, because without movement of goods and services, the country cannot deliver a buoyant economy that will satisfy the aspirations of Nigerians. That is why today, across nook and cranny of the Federation, there are massive construction and reconstruction of roads. So tonight, we continue our conversation on federal government infrastructural development with emphasis on roads and military weaponry. Of course, we will bring you situation reports from zones, while our guest is Engineer Kashim Ali, former President Kieran, and the former President, Nigeria Society of Engineers. I am Kenen Ima Abudike. The news now. A total of 15 projects spread across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country are to be financed with more than $4 billion from multilateral institutions under the 2018-2021 medium-term external borrowing plan. Ruth Aguilar's report gives us the details of the borrowing plan as explained by the presidency.
A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, says President Muhammadu Buhari had requested the Senate to approve sovereign loans of $4.054 billion and 710 million euros, as well as grant components of $125 million for the proposed projects. According to the letter by the President, the sovereign loans will be sourced from the World Bank, French Development Agency, China Exim Bank, International Fund for Agricultural Development IFAD, Credit Suisse Group, and Standard Chartered China Export and Credit. The President's request to the Senate listed 15 proposed pipeline projects, the objectives, the implementation period, benefiting states, as well as the implementing ministries, departments, and agencies. A breakdown of the addendum to the proposed pipeline projects for the 2018-2021 medium-term external borrowing plan shows that the World Bank is expected to finance 7 projects, including the $125 million grant for better education services for all. The Global Partnership for Education grant is expected to increase equitable access for out-of-school children and improve literacy in focus states. The grant, which will be implemented by the Federal Ministry of Education and the Universal Basic Education Commission (UBEC), will strengthen accountability for results in basic education in Katsina, Oyo, and Adamawa states. Other projects to be financed by the World Bank are the State Fiscal Transparency, Accountability and Sustainability Program, as well as the Agro-Processing, Productivity, Enhancement and Livelihood Improvement Support Project. The benefiting states for the Agro-Processing Project are Kogi, Kaduna, Kano, Cross River, Enugu and Lagos, with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development as the implementing ministry. The objective is to enhance agricultural productivity of small and medium-scale farmers and improve value addition along priority value chains in the participating states. Similarly, the World Bank is also financing the Nigeria Sustainable Water Supply, Sanitation and Hygiene (WASH) project in Delta, Ekiti, Gombe, Kaduna, Katsina, Imo and Plateau states for the next 5 years. The project, when completed, is expected to improve rural water supply, sanitation and hygiene nationwide towards achieving sustainable development goals for water supply and sanitation by 2030. Under the external borrowing plan, the World Bank-supported projects also include Nigeria's COVID-19 preparedness and response project under the supervision of the Federal Ministry of Health and Nigeria's Center for Disease Control. No fewer than 29 states are listed as beneficiaries of the Agroclimatic Resilience in Arid Zone Landscape Project, which is expected to reduce natural resource management conflicts in dry and semi-arid ecosystems in the country. The China Exim Bank is expected to finance the construction of the branch line of Apapa Tinkan Island Port under the Lagos-Ibadan Railway Modernization Project. The French Development Agency will finance 2 projects, which include the National Digital Identity Management Project and the Kaduna Bus Rapid Transport Project. The Value Chain Development Program, to be financed by IFAD and implemented in Anambra, Benue, Ebonyi, Niger, Ogun, Taraba, Nasarawa, Enugu and Kogi states, will empower 100,000 farmers, including over 6,000 and 3,000 processors and traders. The specific project titled Kano Maradi Standard Gauge Rail with a branch to Duse has an implementation period of 30 months and will be implemented by the Federal Ministry of Transport. Credit Suisse will finance major industrialization projects as well as micro, small and medium enterprises schemes to be executed by the Bank of Industry, while Synergio and Standard Chartered Bank will provide funds for the provision of 17 megawatts hybrid solar power infrastructure for the National Assembly complex. Ruth Aguele, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari will depart Abuja Sunday for New York, United States of America, to participate in the 76th session of the United Nations General Assembly. President Buhari will address the Assembly during the general debate on Friday, September 24, when he will speak on the theme of the conference and other global issues. In the course of the Assembly, the Nigerian leader and members of the delegation will partake in other significant meetings, such as the high-level meeting to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the adoption of the Durban Declaration and Program of Action on the theme Reparations, Racial Justice and Equality for People of African Descent. The delegation will also participate in Food System Summit, high-level dialogue on energy and the high-level plenary meeting to commemorate and promote the International Day for the Total Elimination of Nuclear Weapons. The President will also hold bilateral meetings with a number of other leaders of delegations and heads of international development organizations. He will be accompanied by Minister of Foreign Affairs Jeffrey Onyema, Attorney General and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami San, and the Minister of State for Environment Sharon Ikazo. Also on the President's delegation are National Security Advisor Major General Babagana Mongono, retired, Director General, National Intelligence Agency Ambassador Ahmed Rufai Abubakar, Chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabri Erowa, and the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, Mrs. Adejoke Orelebe Adefulire. President Buhari is expected back in the country on Sunday, September 26. President Muhammadu Buhari's leadership qualities and administrative style has endeared him to the hearts of African leaders, paving way for Nigerian envoys to be held in high esteem. Nigeria's ambassador to Guinea-Bissau and overseeing Cape Verde, John James Osanga, stated this in an interview with NTA. Anthony Forsen reports.
On James Osaga, who received Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed upon his arrival in Cape Verde, said the government and people of the two countries he is overseeing have exhibited a high level of respect for Nigeria, with special interest in President Muhammadu Buhari.
The president of Guinea-Bissau sees our president, whom I represent, as his father. So right from the time of presenting my letters of credence, he ensured that he gave me kingly treatment. So I would say I'm very lucky in that regard. He has great respect for President Muhammadu Buhari. He sees him as a father. And I will also say that there are great expectations on the part of the Guinea-Bissau government for what Nigeria can do for them.
John Osaga said Nigeria has a lot to give to Guinea-Bissau and Cape Verde, as they have consistently looked up to Nigeria.
Nigerians can partner with Cape Verde to raise the bar in their pursuit of tourism as a foreign exchange earner. That being the case, there has to be some cultural collaboration. Thank God for the tourism investment forum that just ended. There's great potential in the area of tourism. Of course, Nigerians are known for infrastructural developments, particularly in terms of hotels and stuff like that. There are islands that are yet unexplored, that are yet developed. I would say, if you are bold, give us one island and see what we make of it in 10 years. And then you will see the great potential of Nigerians.
Even though there are some consular challenges, effort, he said, have been heightened to address them. Anthony Forson, NTA News.
In education, the Nigerian University of Technology and Management has produced its first set of 57 scholars. Vice President Umeayo at the graduation ceremony held in Lagos reminded the graduating students of the need for them to work towards solving the challenges facing humanity. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
It is a game-changing idea that found fertile ground to germinate. The idea of building a dream team that will transform the nation for the better. The Vice President has been part of the proponents from the onset, working with others, and the vision is to make the institution a world-class, ranked among the best, nurturing leaders and innovators to create impact in Africa and other parts of the world.
The initiative is crucial because the most significant problems of this generation, especially in Africa, will require innovation in science, in technology, in the management sciences, especially entrepreneurship and innovative leadership, if we are to stand a chance of resolving those problems. And I think sitting before us today, the graduates of the NUTM Scholars Program, we might just be beholding the men and women with the answers to some of the world's most significant challenges.
It's a long journey. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo informs the graduating students as they stepped on board to demonstrate to the world the experience they have gained on this scholars program to solving problems facing the nation.
We need to invent and produce cutting-edge AI applications for education, for business, for medicine, for security. A big idea, a massive game changer would always and should always be your target. All of this training cannot be for personal success. There must be something bigger than yourselves that is waiting for you to set your hands upon.
NUTM is creating a center of teaching excellence for STEM and management education that positions students for careers in the 21st century. And as you know, the 21st century is arguably, the technology century. An important corollary is to provide employers with the skills they need, for such a time as this.
Outstanding graduates also received award.
Regardless of where we find ourselves after this, we need to remember to cause change.
It is time to say goodbye. And Omobola Johnson, who is the pioneer dean of the Scholars Program, says all eyes are on the graduating students and urges them not to fail the nation and the institution. In Lagos, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Gombe South Senatorial District has become the citadel of education within the 2 years of the Umeayo higher administration in Gombe State. Emmanuel Akila reports that this is the position of All Progressives Congress APC members from the zone, arising from a stakeholders meeting in which they passed a vote of confidence on the governor.
Assemblage of All Progressives Congress APC sons and daughters from Gombe South Senatorial District in support of good governance. The people of Gombe South Senatorial District say they throw their weight in support of the Umeayo higher administration for the provision of the dividends of democracy, the construction of roads under the Network 1100, provision of at least one functional health facility in all the wards in the zone, and the turnaround in the education sector, especially with the renovation of Government Science Secondary School, Lakanji, Kaltingo.
Once the secondary school level is done, universities and polytechnic become so easy for everybody. And that is why he's going. We hope everything will be okay, and that is why he's going, no going back on that.
We are satisfied with his performance. We are satisfied with his infrastructural development.
In a communique, they expressed gratitude to the Umeayo higher administration for influencing the establishment of the Federal Polytechnic Kaltungo and other dividends of democracy that have direct bearings on the lives of the people.
Construction of farm training centers across all the local governments in the Gombe South Senatorial District.
The stakeholders unanimously passed a vote of confidence on Governor Umeayo Haya, pledging support to his administration. Climax of the meeting is a visit on the Michael Tungu, Engineer Saleh Muhammadu, for his royal blessings in Gombe. Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
And turning to health matters now, where the proposed strike slated to commence today by the Joint Health Sector Unions, JOHESU, and Assembly of Healthcare Professional Associations has been put on hold following resolutions reached at their NEC emergency meeting, but issued a fresh notice of 15 days. A communique at the end of the NEC meeting considers reports of negotiation and reconciliation, including the appeal from President Muhammadu Buhari on the need to show understanding with his administration and the President's pledge to pay any debt owed health workers. Now to security matters. Security agencies in Kaduna State have rescued Major Datong, abducted by kidnappers at the Nigerian Defense Academy staff quarters in Kaduna. He was rescued by combined operations of security agencies. This followed marching order by the top military echelon to relevant security agencies to rescue the abducted major. A statement by Colonel Ezindo Idima, Deputy Director, Army Public Relations, 1 Division of the Nigerian Army, Kaduna, said the troops exchanged fire with bandits, but the gallant troops overpowered them and rescued Major Datong. He, however, sustained minor injury but has been treated and handed over to the Nigeria Defense Academy. Speculations have continued to trail the whereabouts of Dodo of Wawa in Bogu, local government area of Niger State, Dr. Mahmoud Ahmed, 8 days after he was allegedly released from captivity. Fatima Aliyu has an update.
Dodo of Wawa was confirmed released on the 10th of this month by Niger State Police Command through its public relations officer, Wasu Abiodun, after spending 6 days in captivity. However, since the news of the release of the monarch broke, nothing has been heard from him, nor his whereabouts, as confirmed by the Wazir of Wawa, Jafaru Ibrahim Bio.
The fact remains that I have not seen him and have not spoken with him, but the members of the community of Wawa, and particularly the members of the family, are relying and believing that he's been released from the press statement made by the PPRO of Niger State and the Chief Press Secretary. And we want to relieve our minds, and we want to console, we want to rely on it to believe that by the special grace of God that has been released, they have secured his release. And we want to believe that he most probably should be in Mina.
Diligent effort made by NTA to get further clarifications on the growing trend from the State Police Command proved abortive, as its public relations officer, Wasu Abiodun, who had earlier confirmed the release of the traditional ruler, declined comment while the state government has also remained silent on the matter. Meanwhile, since the incident on the 4th of this month, the people of our community have remained calm and going about their lawful businesses. Fatima Liu, NTA News.
Police in Zamfara State, in collaboration with some other security operatives, have rescued 20 persons abducted by armed bandits from Basari local government area of Katsina State. Jamilu Ibrahim has more.
Successive rescue of kidnapped victims across Zamfara State is obviously one of the major positive impacts of the strategies recently adopted by government to combat the protracted security challenges bedeviling the state. Some 20 persons comprising men, women and children kidnapped from Kature village in Basari local government area of Katsina State are the latest batch of the captives recently rescued by Zamfara State Police Command.
The victim had been in captivity for 4 months and 27 days. Making the 3-day-old baby abducted along with her mother 5-month-old now.
Some of the victims could not, however, make it to the press briefing, as they are currently receiving treatment at a medical facility in Gusau, the state capital.
I urge the good people of Zamfara State to always remain law-abiding and collaborate with the security agencies, that the measures taken by the governor in collaboration with the security agencies are yielding positive results.
Speaker of Zamfara State House of Assembly Nasuru Ma'azu Magaria, who was at the State Police Command headquarters Gusau to formally receive the victims on behalf of Governor Bello Muhammad, reaffirmed government's commitment to ensuring safe release of all other persons still in captivity across the state. The rescued kidnapped victims are expected to be handed over to Katsina State government soonest. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
In the meantime, telecommunication services are yet to resume in Zamfara State despite the expiration of the 2-week period for their shutdown initially ordered by the Nigerian Communications Commission. Zamfara State government, however, says the actual date for the resumption of the telecommunication networks in the state is yet to be decided. Jamilu Ibrahim tells us more.
The telecommunication services were expected to resume on 17 September 2021. Zamfara State government, however, says the actual date for the resumption of the services in the state is yet to be decided, as a report of a committee set up to review the impact of the shutdown so far is being awaited.
Now that the 2 weeks have elapsed, the state government is consolidating the gains or otherwise the impact of the measures taken to see whether there is the possibility of extending it or stopping it.
The government regrets inconveniences the measure has continued to cause the law-abiding citizens. It enjoins them to be more patient and fervently pray for the overall success of the struggle to restore lasting peace in all parts of Zamfara State.
The government is doing everything possible to ensure that they are secured, including their lives and property.
Now, how do people of the state view the situation?
It has helped greatly in fighting the bandit and the other insecurity problems in the state.
We have to cope with it.
For most people of Zamfara State, enjoying the socio-economic negative impact of the telecommunication services shutdown is a walkover, if it could actually serve the purpose of achieving the much-desired peace and tranquility in the state. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
Ebonyi State Police Command has neutralized IPOB members and recovered ammunition. The command's public relations officer, Loveth Oda, says the hoodlums who allegedly murdered 7 commuters on Monday, 19th August 2021 and set ablaze their vehicle at Anike village while enforcing their illegal sit-at-home order were trailed to their hideouts at Okawu Forest in Onitsha local government area of the state. Meanwhile, the command says efforts are on to arrest other fleeing members. Now, the newly constructed guard post building at Egunyo Transmission Office of NTA Abuja to enhance security operations has been inaugurated. The building was donated by the Central Bank of Nigeria Abuja branch. Yemi Dalemo reports.
Realizing the need to support NTA Abuja in carrying out its duties under a secured environment, the Central Bank of Nigeria Abuja branch extended its corporate social responsibility to the station and commenced work on the construction of a modern guard post at the Eguia's office. Handing over the guard post building, the Apex Bank's branch controller Wahab Hosseini says the initiative is hinged on the directive by the CBN governor that state branches should support projects that can improve the quality of life in the community.
The funding comes from the pocket of all the staff in every branch. So there is no budget for it. It's a yearly thing and there is nothing. We must submit to the governor of Central Bank of Nigeria as what Abeokuta branch has carried out this year.
Appreciating the Central Bank of Nigeria, Director General NTA Malam Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, who was represented by the General Manager NTA Abeokuta, Fumi Wakama, says security of lives of personnel working in the environment, including guarding of government assets, is crucial.
Again, we want to appreciate the CBN Abeokuta branch for impacting positively on the society through the construction of this purpose-built guard house. We could go a long way to assist in solving our security challenges. With the guard house in place, we can now rest assured of a safe environment for our staff and our equipment.
Yemi Dalemo, NT News.
Away from security matters now, President Muhammadu Buhari extends heartfelt condolences to President Abdelmajid Tebboune of Algeria on the death of the country's former president, Abdelaziz Bouteflika. The president also commiserates with the family of the former president and the Algerian people as they mourn the loss of the remarkable leader who ruled the country for 20 years. President Buhari believes that Bouteflika, as a veteran in the civil war that led to Algeria's independence, a foreign minister, president of the United Nations General Assembly during the 1974-1975 sessions, and a political leader, made significant contributions to the development of his country. On the African front, the Nigerian leader notes that Bouteflika was a true Pan-Africanist, and his legacy of securing the Algiers peace treaty between Eritrea and Ethiopia and supporting peace efforts in the Africa Great Lakes region will not be forgotten. You're watching Weekend File on the NTA network service. More news after this timeout. To stay.
Do you know how stressful it is if you're this delicate? Are you still there? If you're not getting me fresh meat, do you understand?
Okay, I'm at the meat.
Can you switch to your call, please? Okay, give me that one. The one by your side.
Okay, fine. Please.
Where do I buy all these things now? Hey, go get Glow Berekete and call Madam.
The heavyweight voice and data plan. Get 600 Naira free credit plus 700% bonus on every recharge and up to 100% bonus on data plans.
The federal government has commenced second phase of COVID-19 vaccination. If you are 18 years and above and unvaccinated, register at www.nphcda.vaccination.gov.ng. Visit the nearest vaccination site to receive AstraZeneca or Moderna COVID-19 vaccine as first dose. If you received your first dose of AstraZeneca vaccine before 8th July, get your second dose now. All COVID-19 vaccines are free and certified safe. At the vaccination site, you can check blood pressure and know your diabetes risk status. Children aged 0 to 23 months will receive childhood vaccines and screened for malnutrition. After vaccination, continue to adhere to COVID-19 prevention protocols. For more information, visit www.nphcda.gov.ng or call 0700-220-1122. This message is from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency.
Looking fresh for your date? Get even fresher with Close Up. New Close Up Triple Fresh formula. It cleans deeply, fights 99% of bacteria, and cools intensely, keeping you protected and fresh.
Protected and fresh. Protected and fresh. Let's take a picture. Protected and fresh.
Still fresh, still protected.
Feeling cool and protected.
All day stay confident to get close.
Oh, yeah, take the close-up shot. Close.
New Close-Up Triple Fresh Formula.
We love dances that create wow performances. And for many stains, we need wow. Amazing washing power. Each wow pack gets a lot of clothes clean and fresh. Wow. Washes a lot, saves a lot.
Wow Wash and Win Millions promo. Millions of Naira, daily prizes, and a million Wow sachets are up for grabs. Buy Wow now. Offer valid till October 25th, 2021.
Indomie welcomes you back to school. Have a session filled with lots of fun and excitement. Stay safe, stay healthy. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Sometimes before I step on stage, my mind gets clouded and it feels like I'm on a different stage. Sometimes it feels like I'm on the losing side. But that's when I know it's time to take that deep, tum-tum cooling breath. It's my calm before they feel my storm.
Welcome back to Weekend File. Fleet renewal, reduction in maritime crimes in the Gulf of Guinea, and surrendering insurgents. These are a few of the gains recorded by the Nigerian military under the Buhari administration. Defense correspondent Najatu Tijani tells us more.
Strike after strike, the Nigerian military, comprising the Nigerian Army, Navy and Air Force, have battled insurgents to secure Nigeria's territorial integrity in keeping the vow made in 2015 by the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari. In a war which has displaced hundreds and claimed the lives of thousands, including military personnel, the federal government has strived to keep its promise by upgrading military hardware and equipment and retraining personnel in line with international best practices overseen by the Ministry of Defense.
With the coming of the President, that we look at the problems confronting the armed forces in relation to the fighting going on in the northeast, at that initial state before the banditry in the north central or in the northwest.
Under the Buhari-led government, the military has expanded its indigenous manufacturing program and forged partnerships with indigenous companies for the production and supply of various parts for equipment, as demonstrated by the manufacture of 52 locally produced Ezugu mine-resistant ambush-protected vehicles from the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria, ordered by the Nigerian Army.
Given the experiences we've had over the past 5-6 years, I think that the Boko Haram elements, as well as the Islamic State in West African criminals that are still lurking around in some of the fringes of Lake Chad, of course, will crush them.
The Nigerian Navy acquired a new LST landing ship tank in 40 years, NNS Lana, and also launched the Falcon Eye project, a state-of-the-art surveillance system for maritime security, because it gives a bird's eye view of activities over Nigeria's maritime domain, while effectively degrading piracy and other crimes around the Gulf of Guinea and beyond. By launching this sophisticated surveillance system, Nigeria has shown leadership and re-exerted its position as a military power in Africa.
The Nigerian Navy is fully conscious of the huge investment of the nation, which has continued to make for improved maritime security, as evidenced by this infrastructure being commissioned today.
The Nigerian Air Force has also received one of its highest investments in decades for fleet renewal, enabling it to acquire more than 24 new platforms since 2016, the latest being the 829 Super Tucano.
Historic milestones of the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration's unwavering resolve to equip and energize the Nigerian Air Force, and indeed the entire armed forces of Nigeria.
These achievements, the presidency says, are an indication of the federal government's clear commitment to containing emerging threats in the country and are by no means exhaustive, as government will continue to leave no stone unturned until peace reigns supreme. In the meantime, the presidency urges all Nigerians to remain united in supporting the Nigerian military, which will continue to become a formidable force for the protection of all citizens. Naja'atu Tijani, NTA News.
The commitment of the federal government to cut infrastructural deficits, especially in road development across the country, is steadily working out, with the Southwest as a major beneficiary. Sitting atop this catalogue of interventions is the 127-kilometer Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, where there has been heightened efforts to meet the 2022 delivery date. Adeniyi Taiwo completes the report.
In the last 1 year, the Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Rajafashola, has paid about 6 working visits to Lagos State. Apart from the Apapa-Oshodi-Oworun-Shoke Expressway, currently undergoing full reconstruction, his major item of interest is the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, where reconstruction work was flagged off in 2013. With a 2022 deadline, the project, at over 60% completion, is on the home run, and for him, a presidential mandate that touches on ease of doing business soon to be delivered.
This section you are standing on now is almost completed. So there's progress, and with the imminence of dry weather now, you've heard from the contractor, we will double our capacity here.
Already, 90 out of the 127-kilometer stretch has been completed, with 2 major contractors working on sections 1 and 2 of the highway from both ends in Ibadan and Lagos.
I'm sure there won't be any delay because there is no funding problem. NSI is funding it. Once any section of the job is completed, payment has never been a problem.
The landscape of Oyo-Ogbomoso Section 2 of the Ibadan-Ilorin Expressway is also changing, with 47% of the work done.
The recent upgrade in design that we implement on this road should give an answer to increased traffic, to new types of vehicles.
After years of neglect, similar respite will come the way of motorists along Sango-Ota-Idiroko Road, as the federal government also announced plan for total reconstruction of the 64-kilometer international corridor. As they are delivered one after the other, this rejigged road infrastructure are projected to have positive impact on the economy as well as safety of road users. In Lagos, Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
Joining us in the studio live is our engineer Kashim Ali, former President, Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, Kieran, and former President, Nigeria Society of Engineers. Engineer Ali, welcome to Weekend File.
Thank you very much, Kenny.
Of course, you've been keeping tabs on the tape of roads, construction, reconstruction, and rehabilitation across the country. Sometimes some of us say it is a theater of construction as far as road is concerned right now. Of course, considering the fact that most of these roads that we're talking about have been abandoned for a long time in the past or not given much attention as they require. But we're beginning to see a lot more difference in that area. How do you react to that?
Well, I'm happy that something is happening, and if I'm to quote the Honorable Minister of Works, he says, in every state of the Federation now, there's an activity going on. But our prayer is that the activities will get to completion, because the interesting thing about road is, if it's like a road that has a problem is like a wound. if you start treatment, you must complete the treatment. Otherwise, the wound may expand. You know, a wound could be in incubation, sort of. And then once you open it, you must clean it out and sort it out. Otherwise, it could now blow out. So that is the only fear. And that means there has to be more resources allocated so that these roads are taken to their terminal point. Otherwise, again, we could get into problem. But so far, the fact that the government feels now they need to focus on road development is something that we're sharing, because you know roads are like you said, roads are the arteries on which for the pulses of the economy, because with roads, farmers can take their products from the farm to the market, traders can move around their goods, children can go to school, people can go to the hospital, and there could be social interaction. As a matter of fact, the easiest way to curtail insecurity is to provide roads, because most often information is a build-up of fake information that brings about insecurity. Because I give an example, maybe in a village A that is not so far away from village B, but because the road is bad, somebody comes from there and says they are killing people there, of a particular group are being killed there, and the people in village A will just react without confirming, because going there will be a long process. But if the road were there, somebody will just take a dash to confirm. And it has been proven all over the world, and even in Nigeria.
Now, for us as a people, how do you look at the economic impacts of these roads that are opening here and there, particularly to those at the hinterlands where some of these roads, are done? Because for a long time, many of those rural communities have not been partaking in economic activities because of bad roads.
Yeah, okay, let me use, I always like to use life examples. If you recall, late 80s, 90s, the Kaduna South used to be a hotbed of violence, intertribal, all manners of violence, and investigation showed that there was lack of information. People could not move from one point to the other, and there was a lot of false information going around. There's a Governor McCarthy, decided to do roads, and because the villages were linked, that brought all those things. Now what we have now is a different kind of insecurity, but that insecurity that was there before had been eliminated by the provision of roads. That is what road does, because road brings about civilization. The truth is, if there's a bush around the village and you just do a road through it, before you see migration. Everybody wants to be close to the road, and people migrate there. There are many communities. I recall going to Oshogbo first around 2005, 2006, and you want to go to you are on Ife Road, you turn in, you keep driving until you get to one that they call Bongbong, you turn left, you go into the town, and you describe the town in terms of one filling station or one house or the other. But when the administration of Aregbesola came in, he decided to do a road and even a set of bridges at the periphery of the town to link the villages that were adjoining the town of Oshogbo. Today, Oshogbo is a complicated place. I went there when I was going one time. I had the function to attend, and I was a bit late. People were saying they will have somebody to wait for me to. I said, no, what to wait for me? Oshogbo, that you can close your eyes and go. Just describe to me in terms of filling station, and I know I'll get there. Of course, I got to Oshogbo and I was lost, because that had happened. So that is the power of road. That is the power of transportation in any society. It's cities that have grown, if migration have always things that bring people to, apart from water, the next thing that brings people to places is road.
Okay. We're discussing groundbreaking achievements by the federal government, part 2, tonight on Weekend File. Time for our second break. Do stay with us.
This na the story of Pekin, we rise to the max. Rain or shine, it not settle for less. Na the story of small boy we get big talent. Home and away. Wait do, it be like say na the story of one man we fall, but we bounce back in style.
Osime, wetin dey motivate you? I want day big, special and great.
Watching us live from Big Brother House Studio.
Joy for Osime and his teammates and chuck the hit as well.
Make we dey enjoy Max Entertainment together.
Sports or movies, telenovela or cartoon, music or reality TV. With just 6,900 naira, you fit get your good TV decoder plus 1 month Max subscription. Make you dey enjoy over 75 channels with day for Go TV Max. Make you and your special ones they enjoy better things on Max levels. Go TV, love it.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
I dey enjoy Nollywood film, Orisun, PBO, AMC, be my best channel. But ST Nollywood Plus, they show the latest Nollywood blockbuster on top classic bouquet. How I want to take watch am?
My pikin dey enjoy 5 children's channels, but we won't add DreamWorks on top am.
I be telenovela lover, and I like ST Novella E and Starlight. But I hear say the series on ST Novella E Plus on top classic bouquet, they totori person pass wetin I dey see now, and I wan watch am. Shey I go need pay 800 naira extra?
From September 1, StarTimes they summer you better package, but no fear, we no increase price. Join this offer. Make basic bouquet subscribers just pay for 1 month, and then go fit to watch 3 ogbonge extra channels from classic bouquet. This awoof never finish. Recharge classic or super bouquet for 1 month, and you fit be one of the 400 lucky people them we go win smartphone. Terms and conditions they shall. More value, same price. StarTimes. Enjoy digital life.
Job creation, skill acquisition, and innovation among Nigerian teeming youth, and access to credit facilities by the present administration. Part 2. That is our focus on NTA Tuesday Live next week, bridging the gap of unemployment and strengthening poverty reduction in Nigeria. Tuesday Live, every week at 10:30 p.m. It promises to be incisive and educative. Don't miss it.
Thank you for staying with us on Weekend File. We've been discussing with our engineer Kashim Ali, a former president of Koreng and former president Nigeria Society of Engineers, of course, on the groundbreaking achievements by the federal government. Let's quickly look at inroads in security. Of course, this present administration has made tremendous achievements in tackling insecurity as of today.
Yeah. Of course, they have done that, including providing hardware and software in some areas also. But again, even the issue of road that we're discussing cannot be taken away from it. If you recall, in the early days of the Boko Haram, most of their targets were bridges and even roads, dropping explosives on roads to create craters, to make movements of people and even the military difficult. So, you know, the military tried to take it by themselves to do their roles, because of course everywhere in the world the military has been used even to make roads during the peacetime. Anybody who has gone to engineering school knows that there are many procedures that we've used in dealing with issues, in fact, that are standard procedure used internationally, that originated from the military. Like today, the best bridge you can use in emergency was designed and constructed, fabricated by the military. The Bailey bridges, those are the bridges for the military. So they have deployed all those things. They have also used our colleagues in the military to develop a lot of in-house equipment they could use to tackle. Like the Air Force training school in Kaduna, they are into a lot of manufacturing. The Defense Industry Corporation has been also doing a lot. There are even some small groups that are also doing within their barracks and everything to do all that. So a lot has been done, but of course the military will keep their information to themselves, and even when we have access, also we're supposed to help them by keeping such information to ourselves. So there's a lot, but you see, maybe I can talk about the attitude of citizens to all this, because first and foremost, those in the military are also Nigerians. They are citizens in uniform. We must appreciate that and also see whatever we have in the larger society as constraints. They also face such constraints of funding, constraints of even environmental factors that are not inimical to progress. All those things still exist in every strata of society in Nigeria. So that could have been, that will certainly affect their output, but we should not hold them the way some people hold them as incompetent, and I think they are not at all. I've had an interaction with the military because I had the privilege of going to NIPS, and I was there with many military officers from all the services, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the other security agencies, and I found them to be very brilliant. It's not the military. People sometimes tend to look down on the military. It's not the military of those days that went to fight the World War. The military of today are brilliant young people who have the zeal, who want to serve their fatherland. So they are there not because they have nothing else. They are there because they want to do. For instance, in my younger days, I wanted to be in the military.
Oh, you too.
I wanted, but why I couldn't? I wanted to fly. I loved to fly.
Yes.
You
would have been in the Air Force.
My blood group was not appropriate for flying at that time. That is why I couldn't fly.
Engineer Ali, thanks indeed for coming on Weekend File tonight. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We'll be discussing with Engineer Kashim Ali, former President Kieran, and former President Nigerian Society of Engineers. Of course, this is Weekend File. Let's go on our last break.
Of Works and Housing has the responsibility to help improve the quality and the quantity of the road infrastructure assets, which are the roads and the bridges and the highways. At the moment, we have over 13,000 kilometers of road network under repair, reconstruction, or rehabilitation out of the existing 35,000 kilometers of federal road network. These 13,000 kilometers are comprising about 850 different contracts which the ministry superintends across Nigeria. We are fulfilling the mandate of our ministry to expand the connectivity of Nigeria's states and by extension 1,000 villages through road transport.
A sports update is next with Tamara Ebiwe.
Thank you, Kenneth. Welcome to Sports Update. Just to let you know that the AfroBasket is on and Nigeria's D Tigresses